Welcome! By the end of this tutorial, you will be able to install all 51 Talocode skills into Codex, Claude Code, or any agent that reads skill files, and you will understand how those skills work under the hood. We will cover what a skill actually is, how to install the full pack as a plugin in Codex and in Claude Code, how to grab a single skill on its own, how agents decide when to use a skill, and finally how to author and validate your own. Everything we do is local first, open source, and free. No account, no API key, no hosted dependency. You can follow along on any machine with a terminal. Here is the result you are aiming for. One plugin, installed and enabled, brings 51 skills with it. The list covers real work, code review, systematic debugging, architecture design, domain modeling, search, writing, video production, and the Talocode product skills for things like worklane, stacklane, and launchpicks. There are also research-style skills, like Market Radar and the Content Agent. Each one is a small markdown file the agent can load on demand. You install the pack once, and every skill is available whenever the task matches. Before we start, let us confirm the prerequisites. You need 3 things. First, Node, version 18 or newer. The skill pack uses the Node package manager for the single skill installer, so a modern node is a hard requirement. Second, a coding agent with a skill system. Codex and Claude Code both work, and both read the same skill file format, so you only need one. Third, Git, so you can pull skills from GitHub, and clone the repository when you want to read the source or author your own. An authenticated GitHub account is helpful for pulling from public repositories, but you can also download the files directly. Run the version checks exactly as shown here. If Node is missing, install it first, because nothing else in this tutorial will work without it. Before you install anything, it helps to know what you are actually installing. A skill is a markdown file, conventionally named skill.md, living inside a folder. The file has 2 parts. At the top there is a front matter block, 3 dashes, then a name, a 1-sentence description, a version, and a license. This header is what an agent reads to decide whether the skill applies to the current task. Below the header is the body, which holds the actual workflow, when to use the skill, the numbered steps, the validation checklist, and the final report fields the agent must return. The instructions are deliberately concrete and testable, not vague prose. That is the whole architecture. A skill is a self-contained instruction file the agent can load on demand, and the front matter is the key to that mechanism. Now the real install, starting with Codex. The first command tells Codex where the marketplace lives. We pass the shorthand Talocode/skills, which is the public GitHub repository. Codex clones the marketplace catalog and registers it under the name Talocode. The response shows the marketplace name and that it was not already added. The second command installs the plugin itself from that marketplace, Codex plugin add, Talocode Skills, at the Talocode marketplace. Codex reports that it added the plugin and shows the install route inside the plugin cache. That is the whole Codex install, 2 commands, under 10 seconds, and all 51 skills are now available to any new session. After installing, verify the state. Running Codex plugin list shows every plugin you have, with its status, version, and install path. You want to see Talocode Skills at the Talocode marketplace, marked installed and enabled. Enabled is the important word, it means the skills will load into the next session. You can also run Codex plugin marketplace list to confirm the marketplace registered. One thing to remember with Codex, skills are picked up when a new session starts. If you install mid-session and the skills do not appear, start a new session or restart the agent rather than hunting for a reload command. The state is written to the config and cache directories under your home, so it survives across sessions and restarts. Claude Code uses the same repository, so the install is nearly identical, just with / commands instead of a shell. Type /plugin marketplace add, Talocode/skills. Claude registers the marketplace the same way Codex does. Then /plugin install, Talocode Skills at Talocode. Claude installs the plugin and tells you to reload plugins to activate it in the current session. Run/reload plugins. After that, every skill is available, namespaced under the plugin, so the code review skill becomes Talocode Skills: Talocode Code Review. You can browse installed plugins in the plugin manager, disable the pack, or remove it at any time. The marketplace file and plugin manifest live in the public repository, so you can inspect exactly what is being installed before you trust it. You do not need a plugin to use Talocode Skills. If you only want one or two, the package manager can fetch individual skill files straight from the repository. The command is npx skills add, then the repo, then the folder name of the skill you want. For example, Talocode Code Review or Talocode Video. Each command fetches just that skill and writes it into your agent's skill directory. You can also install the entire repository at once by passing only the repo name, which grabs all 51. This path works in any skill-compatible agent, including Cursor and OpenCode, because they all read the same skill.md format. The plugin path is best when you want the whole pack with version tracking. The npx path is best when you want a couple of skills in a plain skill directory. Now the part that makes skills feel like magic: discovery. When you ask your agent to review a pull request, the agent looks at the skills it has and reads their front matter. The description on the code review skill says it reviews changes along two independent axes, and the when to use section lists branch, pull request, and work in progress changes. The agent matches your request against those signals and loads the matching skill. No manual invocation, no /command required. The quality of that matching depends on two things. The description must be a precise sentence about when the skill applies, and the when to use list must use the exact language real users type. Talocode writes both deliberately, so the agent lands on the right skill instead of guessing. When a task does not match any skill, the agent just works normally. Skills are load on demand, never in the way. To use a skill, you simply ask for the work and let the agent run its workflow. Here, the request is review my latest changes. The agent loads the code review skill, which splits the review into two independent passes so one axis does not mask the other. The first axis checks the code against engineering standards, the second checks whether the change matches the intent of the pull request. The skill directs the agent to return structured findings: how many checks passed, how many are minor, how many are blocking, and a final report. That is the discipline every Talocode skill shares. Whatever the outcome, the agent ends with a final report listing what it did, what it found, and what needs approval. This makes the work auditable and repeatable. You are not trusting a black box, you are reading the output of a documented workflow. A core property of these skills is that they are local first. There is no cloud account, no API key, and no hosted service in the core flow. The skills run on your machine, using your tools, your files, and your data. Some skills ship supporting files, like scripts and examples, which is why a skill folder can hold more than just the markdown. You can see the Market Radar skill here with its scripts and examples folder. When you install the pack as a plugin, all of that is cached locally under your home directory, as the listing shows. You can open every file and read it before running anything. That matters for trust. There are no opaque binaries phoning home. If a Talocode product offers a hosted tier, that is optional infrastructure, not a requirement to use the skills. Writing your own skill is straightforward, and it follows the same structure you just saw. Create a folder, put a file called skill.md inside it. In the front matter, give it a name, a one-sentence description that says exactly when the skill applies, a version, and a license. Then write the body. Start with a when to use section listing the situations where the agent should load it, then the workflow as numbered steps, then a validation checklist, and finally the fields you want reported back. The golden rule is concreteness. Write instructions that can be checked, not vague guidance the agent could silently skip. If a step can fail, show the failure and how to recover. If you want a guided template, the pack includes a skill called Talocode Skill Creator that walks you through the full structure, including progressive disclosure and failure modes. Talocode skills are not just written, they are checked. The repository ships a no-op auditor, a small node script that scans every skill for vague instructions an agent could treat as a no-op, like do it properly, or handle errors gracefully, with no concrete definition. Clone the repository, run the auditor, and you will see a clean score and a message that no op instructions were found. There is also a test suite for the auditor itself, so the tool is verified and not silently passing everything. When you author your own skill, run the same check before you share it. A skill that passes the auditor has testable, concrete rules, which is exactly what makes it reliable across different agents and models. This is the standard the whole pack is held to. Let us pull it together. You can install all 51 Talocode skills into Codex with 2 commands, or into Claude Code with 2/ commands. You can pull a single skill on its own with the package manager, and you can install the whole pack as a plugin with version tracking. Agents discover skills automatically by reading their descriptions and when to use sections, so the right skill loads at the right time. Everything is local first, open source under the MIT license, and requires no account. The next step is to try one. Grab the code review skill and run it on your latest pull request, or install the full pack and explore the list. The repository is github.com/talocode/skills, and documentation is on the Talocode site. Thanks for following along. Now go make your agent more capable.